518027. Three-way calls or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call. Did you know the person calling you now has voicemail? You can leave a message for this party by calling 520-448-3426. You will need to know the inmate's 9-digit phone ID. Thank you for using GTL.
What's good with YouTube? Y'all already know Vick with a college perspective. Y'all already know what time is coming directly from the county jail with a positive attitude as I smash, dash, slide on through with a whole lot of energy, man. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. Hope everybody's been having a positive day. Hope everybody's blessed, man. Let's get to this topic. This is a good one, man. Prison gang members who abuse their authority. Those that use their positions of rank or status to dish out or basically settle vendettas, personal issues, or conflicts, man. And it happens all the time, man. It's been happening since these organizations have first started, man. And, you know, when it comes to protocols with personal issues, man, your status does have a lot to play with it. You know, it's who you know. It's not always what you know, and it's who you benefit the most, man. And whether it's financially, whether it's by status, whether it's by rank, or whatever you have to offer could go a long way in settling disputes, man. And within the laws, whether it's in the Constitution, right, you're not supposed to put personal things, materialistic things, or anything before the organization. Within the Mortanian movement, you got bond number 4, right, and number 5, that talks about not having internal conflict or not showing favoritism or individualism or any of that, or abusing your authority. But it happens all the time, man. And it happens on a whole higher scale the more deep you get into these organizations or these movements. If you're a Ganam, you know, within the NF, you already know there's been a lot of people who've abused their authority throughout the years. And even some those that held authority within the movement at times would abuse their authority, man. And that was one of the most biggest issues that occurred from the 90s and 2000s, man, was a lot of people that had status that were basically abusing authority. Like, look at Mouse from 17 Reasons. You know, the rapper, when he got hit up in the bay, that was all over. You know, that was over female. That was a now that was basically using his status to push a line on him that was really an unjust line. It wasn't justified. You know, look at the issue with Angel Chavez, AC from Visalia. Look at his crime, right? He killed a dude that was messing around with a Garnazo lady. Now he's doing life over, right? Shit happens. Look at the triple homicide that happened over there in Modesto, right? When it was over a girl that was 18 years old that was in a relationship with someone that was part of the regiment that probably was dating her. I think he was in his 30s. That's probably dating her when she was underage. Look at that. 3 people were victims because someone abused their authority. Look at the Goshen situation. You know what I'm saying? Where people were trying to cover up that they were doing some backdoor dealing with some Southsiders and not reporting up the ladder. All that stuff stemmed from people that were personally using their authority, right, to either dish out vendettas or to cover their ass. And it happens all the time, man. And what people don't realize, right, people will use their positions to cover their ass. People will lie. When you're dealing with people that join these organizations as members, that take that oath, that take that pledge, like I said before in previous videos, they're all doing this because it's ego-driven, it's ego-based. They don't believe in no confidence. The only confidence in organizations is about making money, gaining power, and basically campaigning to where you are sent to a higher ranking position and to where you get all the benefits of being a member of these organizations. Now, anywhere in the Constitution, right? In the Constitution, does it ever mention anything about the cause, the betterment of the people? No, it only talks about the betterment of the organization. And unless you're part of the organization, you're expendable. You do not exist. You know what I'm saying? You should say it all the time, okay? When it comes to NF, equality is out the door. You're not equal to an NF member. I mean, these are things that people don't realize that are spoken behind the scenes, right? And it's just like with an individual that I see that's in good standing. He can make any decision based upon the fact of being a now. It could become personal. It could be something that everybody knows is wrong, but because he's a Sikh and he decides to make that decision, he can't do shit about it. Look at the situation with what's his name, Gangster Gucci. That's a prime example. And as we already know, Samuel had issues with who? With Bob, with Gucci. So when all that shit transpired between him and Big Mister, what ended up happening? They put a green light on fucking against Gucci. Didn't even want to hear any due process or give him any due process. Made up a whole lot of lies just to fucking smut him up and cross him up and put his standards no good. And the problem with this is this, right? Once a C has already made his decision, okay, about any individual that's not a C, because the C's not going to make a decision on another C. Those are charges that have to go up the ladder. There's a whole process that's on a whole higher scale. It's above a lot of people's pay grades to understand. But regular survivors will get deemed, right, by someone that's in the organization. Once that case has been closed by that C, nobody can touch that case. If you're an actual dog, you cannot open up a case where someone's been deemed no good by a C. The only one that can reopen up that case is another C. A lot of times, if they're a C with equal rank, and what I mean by rank, I mean timing, grade, and caste status, they're not going to open up that case because it would be a disrespect and an insult to that guy now. Now, even one that has higher rank, right? A lot of times, unless he sees the benefits of this individual, he's not going to do it unless he reaches out to that C to make sure that C's going to be okay with it. So what ends up happening, right? You have individuals who get crossed up, and we know they got crossed up. They get deemed, they get put in the hat, and there's nothing you can do about it because it has become personal. And this has happened so many times, right? I can give you guys a couple of examples. There was an individual that was deemed no good by Mark Rodriguez. His name was Gil Maldonado, okay? This guy was pretty much affirmed by everybody, okay? And he didn't do nothing really alarmingly wrong. All he did was he went to grand jury, and he didn't even say anything that was incriminating. But because Taha had issues with Gil, he deemed him no good, okay? Now, no C had opened up Gil's case. He was on the Nuestra, he was on the BNL, and that's where his name remained, okay? Until when Taha flipped and was deemed no good, and decided to start fucking working with IGI and Dupree, then all of a sudden Gil's case was opened up by Chuco. But until then, Chuco would not open his case until Caja was now in bad standings. And so that happens all the time. And see, that's the fucked up thing about it, is you got dudes that are cleared or in good standings that should be in bad standings. You got dudes that are in bad standings that should be in good. Look at the situation of Ralph Avalos, okay, from Middlesex. Okay, those charges that did a video on him, man, it's crazy what the actual appeal says. All the stuff that was affirmed by the courts and the things that he allegedly did that were claimed by him from his nieces, right? It was bad on paper. There's nothing that you can misread that. I don't understand how he got cleared. Why? Because there was favoritism involved. Why? Because he's paying some money. Why? Because he's been around for a long time and he was in the right person's ears that was going to clear. Now, eventually, true crushed earth will eventually rise again. So eventually, one's deeds, whether they're worthy or unworthy, eventually they're going to be found out, and a lot of times people are going to be held accountable. That's how prison politics operates, man. But like I said, there's a lot of people that will use their status and ranking to settle personal issues and scores. It happens all the fucking time. Or there may be an issue that someone's been buying, they want to deal with it, and they want to have it dealt with. And as soon as someone goes into no good standing, and now that envelope can be pushed, now that envelope's being pushed. I can give you two examples. Mikey from the South Side and Jermaine Goose. I heard both those dudes. At one time, they were going to fucking have Goose hit on the streets over some bullshit. And I've done stories about this a couple times. I took my neck out. I cleared Goose. I went against a couple of the seats out there and said, no, this needs to be cleared. Now, all the seats acknowledged it. They hit back because I was right. But as soon as my standings had changed, when he went to the county jail, classification had told him, well, you got to set it by Flaco. Okay, we're going to put you on the fourth floor. As soon as he got to the fourth floor, what do you think happened? Lentil put him on freeze. So all those old issues that fucking Kramer and Samuel and all them tried to push on him, that I had cleared them up, now because my standings had changed, now they were trying to push those issues. And see, that's where all the personal shit, the individualism, all the favoritism comes into play. Not everybody that's an actual member is going to be righteous. Like I said, a lot of people who actually, make that commitment are not good individuals as it is. We're criminals. We're thugs. We're living out a life of crime. It's all about producing money through all means necessary. And if we have to use someone to get there and settle some scores along the way and get people out the way that maybe we have personal vendettas, if you're a member, everybody, all they're going to do is this. They're going to turn a cheek. No one's going to stick up for you. And that's the truth. How many times have you heard about individuals that just have made lifetime commitments or put in the work. And as soon as they fall out of favor, right, everybody that fucking has something against them all comes out to move up. Everybody has something bad enough to say about that person. But while they were there the whole time, pushing the right agenda or doing whatever they're doing, people didn't have shit to say about it. And so that's the fucked up thing about when you're dealing with prison politics and with members of these organizations. Whether it's the NF or any of them, they all have the same problems. They all have the same concerns. There's those that are getting positions of status, and they're going to use it to settle scores. They're going to use it to be personal. They're going to use it to gain money. They're going to use it to do whatever they can to benefit themselves. And see, that's where everything goes astray, from all the principles, from all the ideologies, and from all the brainwashing you try to give people is, oh, this is about the betterment of the people. This is about a cause. We're not here about taxing people. We're not here doing this and doing that. But yet 25 years later, as one organization has continued forward and the lucha for the Norteños has evolved, everything has gotten cloudy, everything has changed. Now you are taxing people. Now you are setting scores. Now there is a difference in status. If you're a Carnal, that means something. If you're a Soldado, you are inferior to a Carnal. There's no way to look at it any different. How many times have you heard people say, oh, well, this is for this people because he's a Carnal? And nowadays, think about it, it's even worse because the state has recruited so many individuals and seeds that they wouldn't have been bros in my time. I'm telling you that right now. There's a lot of dudes that do not have the educational attainments or the capability or leadership qualities. And they can't run things fairly to where people are going to gravitate towards them. That's one thing I used to appreciate about Carlitos and a few others is they knew how to spread the carnalismo. They knew how to treat everybody equal, or at least feel that they were equal. You see, we all know that there's different levels. There's different levels. Not everybody is equal, but at least they're not making it seem like people are not equal. And I think that's a big part of why you're seeing such levels of people deteriorating, such levels of people degenerating from the cause of struggle, because it doesn't exist. It's either you're a fucking member of the organization or not. If you are, you're going to yield the power. You're going to have the authority to abuse people. I mean, look, there was a Carnal that was out there on the streets in San Jose about, 10 years ago that was fucking running around fucking people's old ladies. And he was telling people, well, I'm a Carnal, I can do whatever I want. That's the type of level of attitude that you have nowadays with this individualism. And then you have the favoritism. I mean, look what happened with Lucky Mendoza. Because of, nothing bad about Pony, but because he had a past issue with a female and he was close with Skip had him hit. And we already know who Lucky was close to and all the people he was talking with. There was personal agendas there. There was an echelon. It became personal. And that kind of shit happens all the time, man. And there is no checks and balances when it comes to different levels to this. And that's the thing that I think is most unfair is people who have acquired status and rank can abuse it and no one can hold them accountable. Because unless you're a member of the organization, you're taught that, hey, this comes first. Your brothers come first. A Carnal always comes before another Carnal. A Carnal always comes before any Northerner, any Norteño, and whatnot. You know what I mean? They're inferior. They're not on the same level. They haven't made that same commitment where you made that last same commitment. And that's taught, that's indoctrinated, that's spread, that's propagated all throughout the organization. And that's why you have all these people at times where they have, feelings. Sometimes they see the favoritism, they see the individualism, they see the individuals that have to earn shit. You know what I'm saying? He's striving off the blood and sweat of what real survivors and real ghettos have done. And that's the unfortunate thing about it, man, is that what can you do about it? You either accept it or move on. And that's why I think you have a lot of people who have pretty much gone onto the SNY side or who have stepped away from the politics because they see the bullshit. They see the corruption, they see the betrayal, they see those that are only there to serve their interest. You don't see no cause. You don't see the carnalism. You don't see the harmony. You don't see the unification that was there back in the days. All that shit no longer exists. Now it's all about power plays. It's all about campaigning. It's all about acquiring status so you can reap the benefits, so you can do what you want, man. Like I said before, back in the days, there was a small nucleus of individuals that were making those obligations, that were out there really pushing these lines. Nowadays, they have it to where anybody can push these lines, and you have basically a cluster of individuals who don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's why you're seeing all these people getting indicted or people falling off or bad call over here or favoritism over here. It's all fucked up because people have gone astray from the true ideologies of what it's supposed to be about. anyways, man, there's a couple things I was thinking about when it comes to this, man. And like I said, people will cover their own ass. They'll lie. You know, and when it comes to anything that's going to benefit them, like I said, if they can settle a score, look at all the examples I gave you. You know, there's people that sat there and committed the ultimate sacrifice, taking somebody's life just because they were doing it because someone disrespected a canal or someone disrespected a canal family member. They didn't even disrespect their own family and they were willing to make that sacrifice. That's crazy. And some of these individuals were promised to reach status and rank and, you know, be looked after, and they couldn't even get some money for their own commissary, let alone a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? That's how fucked up it is. You got greedy individuals who are going to use you, right? Get what they want out of you. And once you're no longer useful, you're expendable. And that's the truth. With that said, Flaco, from a comic perspective, I'm out.